visible, I'll let you know. Yes, slide is visible. So it seems that you have not checked my slide, and whatever guideline I had given, you have not seen that because I had given a bigger, little wider slide. You are not using that. So first thing, first impression is guideline is not followed, and that is not right. Correct. Second slide, just scroll it. Fine. So this is what you have done. Here also the justification is not there. So I will not accept it when you are submitting this slide in the Google Classroom. So I want it to be done in the bigger slide. Whatever I have
Yeah,
given, you will find it in WhatsApp group. So all
yeah,
this
yeah.
matter, you have to take it into that bigger slide. You have to adjust all this uh, justification and formatting error and all these things, and then you have to upload it.
Okay,
Okay.
sure, sure.
So start from the first slide. So it's a formal presentation. Start with good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, and start. So now I will say start, and after that, it's yours. So you are Rohan. Please start
Okay.
presentation.
Good morning, sir. Today, me and my colleague Ritesh will be presenting on electric supply. The outline of the presentations are normal existing and domestic industrial electric supply, inductive power transfer for moving vehicles, and electric supply rails, infrastructure needed for charging electrical vehicles. Today, I'll be explaining about normal existing and domestic electric industrial electric supply. Electric power distribution is the final stage in the delivery of electric power. It carries electricity from the transmission system to individual consumers. Distribution substations connect to the transmission systems and the lower transmission voltage to medium voltage range up to 2 kilovolts and 35 kilovolts with the use of transformer. The primary distribution line carries the medium power voltage power of distribution transfer located near the customer's premises. The distribution transformer again lowers the voltage to the utilization voltage used by lighting, industrial equipment, and household applications. Often, several customers are supplied for the one transformer through secondary distribution line. Commercially and residentially, customers are connected to the secondary distribution line through service drops. The transmission for the distribution happens in power substations, which has following functions. Like you can see in the pic, you can see the transformers and above the ground utility poles which used for transformation of electricity. There is a substation which has circuit breaks and switch enables the substations to disconnect from the transmission grid or the transmission line to be disconnected. And there is a transformer step down and step down of transmission voltage or more down to primary distribution stages. These are medium voltage circuits, usually 600 to 35,000 volts. From the transformer, power goes to a bus bar that can split the distribution power of in multiple directions. The bus distribution power to distribute the line and the fan out to the customers. High voltage transmission lines allow the certain supergrid in which energy can be transmitted for long distance with low amount of loss, like only 3% and all. These superhighways open up considerable advantage for alternative energy use. Like if we have to transmit solar energy or wind energy for a long distance, then we could have very low efficiency by just transmitting around more than 10,000 around 10,000 volts for long distance. So from which we can
Correct.
have around 3% loss of efficiency per 1,000 kilometers.
Very good.
Infrastructure needed for charging electrical vehicles. Uh, I have divided this into three parts, like hardware infrastructure, data management structure, and maintenance and services. Where a
Very good.
standard charging system includes several fundamental hardware components described as described. The power electronics assembly in the core of the charging station. It supplies the power to the EV onboard battery chargers. The charging controller in the intelligence of the charging station. and the managing the basic charging functions like tuning the charge or off meter metering of power usage, etc. The network controller provides the interconnection of the charging stations to the board network. It allows the stations to commit with the network using onboard telecommunication devices so that the system manages and monitors the review of the control the device used. And where it comes to data management, EVs and EV chargers are commonly generating important data of state of charging of the battery, power of the battery, and the distance what it can be traveled at what the amount that it has having right now the charge what it is having. On that basis, the distance it can be traveled and the time required to charge itself fully or the kilowatts whatever at what speed it is getting charged and what kilowatt exactly it has, etc. There are many data which are useful for the user, so we have to manage all these data in the charging electric vehicles while charging in electric vehicles. So then comes the maintenance. The maintenance of this should be taken very carefully because it's an electric due to which maintenance comes a very important role. Uh, High power will be transmitted from the connections and all. If there is low maintenance, uh, we may get shock and all. Many consequences may take up. So likely the device that is utilized by the public and the export to the environment, public EV chargers requires some level of services and maintenance. Services of public chargers is taken care by the or charger owner or the operator, and it's not generally relevant considering the for the this communicast or we can say that however this communicants that choose to own public charging stations should also plan on regular services and maintenance for the assets. Here is a small example. The Nissan V, for example, has a battery capacity of 24 kilowatt, and if this is to charge 80% of its capacity in 48 minutes, then 24 kilowatts of power will need to be available at the socket for home charging. Such sockets will need to be fitted. This says
Correct.
that what type of socket should be fixed. We cannot fix any other whichever type of socket cannot charge any vehicle. There are specific sockets for specific vehicles, so we should use a specific socket so we can get 100% of efficiency and also exact time, and we can charge the vehicle sooner. Then this is a small graph which explains the charging points in different countries, whereas Netherlands and Norway right now have a large amount of charging sockets in their country. This part will be explained from my colleague by Ritesh.
Good one, Rohan. So you have studied the topic given to you, it seems, and detailed presentation. Very good. So I'm inviting Ritesh. You please take charge from here. And Rohan, देखो ये last paragraph still it is to be done some kind of formatting. So top two you have done and can be collected के बाद से थोड़ा गड़बड़ हो गया. Previous slide.
Yes.
Okay, so do this. So last paragraph here also it is to be formatted right side. समझ में आ रहा है? Justification is to be done. First two
Okay.
paragraph you have done properly. The last paragraph is pending. So before uploading, please do this. Yeah, Ritesh, please
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
charge
Sure.
and go to the next slide and please explain.
Yes. So, good morning. My topic is,
No, Ritesh, you are not visible.
sure, I've
Is
turned
your
on my
camera
camera.
on?
Yeah, it is. May I start?
Okay. Yeah, start explaining.
So, my topic is electric supply rails. So, the train or the rails can be supplied energy through two different forms. One is overhead, where a wire runs over the train through which the electric supply can be done, and that can be done through three supplies consisting of AC, DC, and composite. AC supply needs around 15 to 25 kilowatts of supply, and if it's DC, then it should be around 300 to 3000, in between 300 and 3000. Composite might be a combination of AC and DC depending on the application. And if AC is used, then it must be around 16.7 to 60 hertz of frequency. And initially, DC was used a lot, and since it had DC creates a loss, and that is why there is a need of amplification of for every 2 to 3 kilometers, which costs a lot, of course. So that is why AC comes into application. AC has the least eddy current loss, and also the amplification needed between 20 to 30 kilometers. So that doesn't cost a lot when compared to DC. And also AC, that is alternating current, can easily be stepped up and stepped down. And coming up to the rail supply, that is supply of electricity from the rails, that can be done by two methods. One is using the same rail as a track, same track as rail, and the other one is having a parallel line running, a separate parallel line running, which supplies the electricity, which are called third rail and fourth rail respectively. There is a steel shoe arranged as shown in the figure. There is a steel shoe arranged which is in contact with the electric supply line, which runs parallel to the track, of course. And then the supply is usually, when it comes to the track, the supply is DC. And this becomes very hectic in countries like India, where it is too much crowded and people are unaware of the cautions. And so when it comes to overhead current supply, overhead electric supply, insulators and catenary wires and contact wires are the parts of overhead electric supply. And coming to the rail supply, it is only the contact, the steel contact, and another supply line. That's it. So that doesn't cost a lot. And moving on to the next topic, we have Ron, can you move to the next slide? We have inductive power transfer for moving vehicles. Well, this is one of the greatest inventions of Nikola Tesla. That is, sorry. This is one of the greatest inventions of Nikola Tesla. That is supplying electricity, or supplying the source of the source through mutual induction, through the principle called mutual induction, where the supply is contactless here. There are usually two coils, or what we call it as two.
Ritesh, I like to disturb you in between.
Yes,
Am I visible?
yes, sir, you are.
Okay, so there was a glitch in a network issue. So I'm visible, right?
Yes, sir, you are.
Fine, continue.
Okay. So the next topic we have is inductive power transfer for moving vehicles. So this was one of the greatest invention of Nikola Tesla. If you all wanted to refer, I have the patent number also, that is 514972. So this is a contactless power supply. So there is a complete isolation, and there is no caution of any dangerous events to occur. And also the methodology is something like the roads or the track, or the track which the vehicle moves is kept with the first coil. This actually works on the principle of mutual induction. The first coil is inserted inside the road or the track, whatever it is, and then the second coil, or what we call it as a pickup line, the pickup is held as a load inside each and every vehicle. And the
Correct.
first coil is supplied with the electricity, and mainly AC, because here it has to be AC, because obviously it's a mutual induction. And it's the frequency is around 15 kilohertz, near to 15 kilohertz. and the first coil is supplied with the energy, and since there is a lot of gap between the first coil and second coil to for mutual induction to happen, so the frequency is slightly increased. And coming up to the features of this
Uh,
inductive power transfer.
can I
Sorry.
ask you a question?
Yes, sir, please.
Anywhere do you know where is this thing in application? The previous slide, whatever by Tesla method, whatever power transfer you have seen, you have shown in case of a vehicle. So any
Yes, yes.
application you have found out for this?
Sir, I've heard that in Germany there is a the largest application of IPT is in Germany, where in the place called Wampfler.
Okay.
That is all
So
I
you
know, sir.
just find it out. You just find it out, and you can add here. So there is a little space below this left side paragraph, below paragraph. So just find out the reference properly and just add it. That this kind of wireless power transfer. So a lot of research was going on this when 2014, 13, 14. I found a lot of research was going on in IITs on wireless power transfer. So please find out and add little bit reference below to this paragraph. Okay,
Yes, sir.
continue then.
Sure, sir.
Next slide. Next slide, continue.
So coming up to the features of inductive power transfer, we're talking about the efficiency. It holds a remarkable efficiency of 96%, whereas petrol and diesel engine has efficiency of 40 to 60%. And coming up to power it should be around 30 k to 1000 kilowatts. And there is a large air gap, of course, because when it comes to two different coils, one is mounted inside the track and the other one is the load. So obviously there is a gap of around 100 meter or more, 100 millimeter or more, and multiple independent loads. So each and every vehicle is each and every vehicle is called as separate multiple independent loads, because the first coil is always fixed and the secondary coil which is attached to the load can be multiple, can be any number they want.
Correct.
So long tracks in the sense this application, the application of this concept can be several kilometers. So this is not restricted to a small area or small limited distance. So it can be several kilometers. And maintenance, this is just a one time investment and there is no maintenance, because there is nothing which you have to keep maintaining or keep an eye on. So moving on, we have data transfer, data in the sense signal here. So signal can be transferred with a minimal addition of a hardware. And speed is unlimited. Speed is based on supply. The speed is totally based on the supply. And safety, this is the safest, because this is a mutual induction and there is no contact between the electric supply to the secondary coil. So this is completely insulated and touch proof though, so this is the safest. So sensitive environment, there is no pollution at all. This causes no pollution since there is no emission at all. So can you move to the next slide? So here they have given an example of where it is conducted. That is, I've told it that in a city called Wormflor in Germany, the largest inductive power transfer system of 150 kilowatts is conducted. And there is a small diagram which illustrates how this the aluminum monorail is a track, and the secondary coil, that is pickup coil, is made of iron core, that is ferrite core, and the pickup coil is arranged around it, and this is how it works, and that was meter. Thank you.
Yes, a very good presentation, detailed presentation of by both of you, Rohan and Ritesh.